Good morning, and welcome back to Global Gossip, where we discuss current worldwide issues. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Arthur, and today we'll be introducing our new segment, Econ Alignment.
During this segment, we will be interviewing an expert economist about the role economy plays in our world as well as our daily life. She will go in detail about certain types of trade, current economic problems, possible solutions to these crises, and many more. Please welcome Carmen Miguez.
Thank you, guys. I am very excited to be here today.
And we are very excited to have you today.
To start off, I want to start saying that economy is described as the wealth or resource of a country or region, especially in the terms of production and consumption of goods and services. Economy can change quality of life factors such as health, safety, and creation, and can impact total business sales.
So, are you saying that economy is very important in our everyday lives?
Yes, definitely.
So, what are some of the most serious problems impacting the world today in regards to economic crisis?
An example of an economic crisis, it would be the country Venezuela, which has been impacting the world since 2013. Venezuela has had the second highest murder rate and an inflation rate of 863% in 2017. The country's health system has collapsed and there are no resources, and the maternal deaths are increasing. Every year, the death rate has gone higher since health is too expensive, and since there are no resources, vaccine-preventable diseases have reemerged. Between 2015 and 2017, 11.7% of Venezuela's population, around 3.7 million people, were completely undernourished.
What type of things would you say contribute to global economic problems?
There are many things that can contribute to global economic problems, such as growing income inequality, technology driving change in jobs, and increased migration.
What do you mean by growing income inequality and technology driving changes in jobs?
As seen in the graph, the global inequality has been increasing. In 2017, just 8 men now have the same wealth as 3.6 billion people globally, which is more than half of humanity. And in 2015, when the richest 1% of the world own as much as the rest of humanity. And because of the increase in technology, there are less jobs available for people.
What about globalization? How would you define that?
I would define it as the active process of globalizing the state of being globalized, especially the development of our increasingly integrated global economy market, especially by free trade, free flow of capital, and the tapping of cheaper foreign labor markets.
Speaking of free trade, what is the difference between free trade and fair trade?
Free trade is the international trade left to its natural course without tariff, quotas, or other restrictions. Free trade has a policy to eliminate discrimination against imports and exports. Buyers and sellers throughout the world from different economies may voluntarily trade without government applying tariffs, quotas, of subsides of prohibition on goods and services. It is the opposite of trade protectionism or economics isolationism. For example, EFTA, the European Free Trade Association, that consists of Norway, Iceland, Switzerland, and Lithuania, and NAFTA, which consists of the United States, Mexico, and Canada. While fair trade is trade between companies in developed countries and producers in developing countries in which fair prices are paid to producers, free trade is trade in partnership, based on dialogue, transparency, and respect. It contributes to sustainability development by offering better trading conditions to and securing the rights of marginalized producers and workers, especially in the south of the world.
How do you think global economics are impacting the United States?
Global economic development plays an important role in driving activity in financial markets in the U.S. The U.S. had a volatile yet greatly expanding economy by the 19th century due to industrialization, immigration, territorial expansion, new technological innovations, and other trends. A laissez-faire approach by government and poorly regulated banking led to volatility. Faster growth in domestic product, also called GDP, expands the overall size of the economy and strengthens fiscal conditions. Either can increase the overall size of the economy, but only strong productivity growth can increase per capita GDP and income.
Do you believe the United States is fulfilling an etiquette role in global economics?
Absolutely. The U.S. has the world's single largest economy, and it accounts for almost a quarter of global GDP. It also has more than a third stock of market capitalization. The U.S. dollar, which is the currency, is mostly used in global trade, financial transactions, and changes. In U.S. monetary policy and investor sentiment play a major role in driving global financing conditions. The U.S. has also been helping underdeveloped countries that has been trying to get out of poverty.
Before our time is up, we want to ask you one last question. Are there any possible solutions to help countries facing serious economic problems?
Yes, absolutely. But to answer this question, we need to understand that the biggest issues that countries are facing nowadays are religious conflict and war, political polarization, government accountability, education, food, water and poverty, credit access, and scarcity. Most of these problems cannot be solved right away, but they can for sure be minimized. An example would be minimizing scarcity. One of the methods that have been proven to be more efficient to solve this problem is by raising prices. Governments must make sure that even the poorest consumers can afford them. It can also ask certain firms to increase their production of scarce resources or to expand using more factors of production. A second example would be minimizing poverty. Efficient ways to do so would be by creating jobs, raising the minimum wage, supporting pay equity, providing paid leave and paid sick days, investing in affordable high-quality childcare and early education, expanding Medicaid, and so on. In conclusion, most of the countries can solve or minimize their economic problems through a simple solution, but it really depends on the problem that the country is facing. However, it might take them longer because of different variables.
Well, Carmen, thank you so much for all the information we've shared with us today.
Yes, we really appreciate you coming today. You encompass a variety of information and helped us inform society about the profundity of economics in our world. Thank you for watching Global Gossip today, and we'll see you at our next segment.